Hello, friends. Welcome to Pickles and Vodka, the mental health podcast, where imperfect people have imperfect conversations. I'm Christina, and normally I do these intros with my co-host Lauren, but this isn't quite a normal intro. If you've been following us on social media, you will know that Lauren and I actually met in person a few weeks ago, and we recorded our last episode of 2022 in her living room on video. It was super, super fun. I can't wait for y'all to listen. The video is not going to come out at the same time as the audio for this one, even though we make references to the video in the episode. And the reason for that is just because my little laptop cannot handle big video files, which I quickly figured out. But it's okay. I ordered a new computer as a Christmas gift to myself, so the video will be out soon. In the meantime, we have a really fun, lighthearted episode for y'all today. But there is one thing that I really wanted to talk about before jumping into that, and that is the Hot and Spicy Pickle Awards. I feel so nervous recording this, even though I know none of it matters and y'all don't care. But the reason I wanted to talk about it is just because the Hot and Spicy Pickle Awards did not happen this year. Even though we teased it on social media, even though I've been talking about it for a while, it became apparent while I was on my trip to St. Louis to see Lauren that it wasn't going to happen realistically. As I have mentioned earlier, I was feeling super low mentally, and no matter how long I sat and stared at my notepad, I just was blanking on awards to give people. And I tried in the car on the way to St. Louis. I tried doing it in the hotel. I was even trying to finish it up on Lauren's couch like 10 minutes before we started recording this episode. But in the end, it just didn't work out. And that's okay. You know, I'm not going to do something just for the sake of doing it if it's not going to be good because I'm not feeling it. And that's all it comes down to. I am still so grateful for every guest that appeared on the podcast this year. There were 10 of y'all in total. And I think all of you know how grateful we are for you, especially me personally, because I was doing the podcast by myself when I interviewed most of y'all. And it really meant a lot that I was going through such a rough time and people still wanted to contribute to this podcast and be part of the conversation. So that is all I'm going to say about that. While we don't have the Hot and Spicy Pickle Awards in this episode, we do have a brand new segment that Lauren came up with that we have lovingly dubbed the Bread and Butter Pickle Awards, which are terrible awards that we give out to ourselves for all of the things we hated. And so that's fun. So I guess before hopping into the episode, because y'all are probably like, can we just listen already? I wanted to share a little insight that I had last night while I was talking to my partner. We weren't talking about New Year's at first. We were talking about birthdays for whatever reason. And I was thinking, what if instead of celebrating your birth on your birthday, what if you celebrated just surviving another year? Because, I don't know, if you're a depressed person like myself, and I'm sure Lauren will agree with this, being born isn't really much of a milestone that you like to celebrate. And that sounds really dark, but I don't know. Birthdays have been harder and harder to celebrate every year for me. And moving forward, I was thinking that what if I just celebrated another year of surviving? Like, everyone can be born, but it takes a lot to survive for 365 days in this fucked up world. And so I think that applies to New Year's too. I think New Year's is, in a way, a birthday. It is the start of something new, sure, but it can also be a time to think about how you survived and what you got yourself through and what you've learned. And so that's kind of how I'm treating it this year. I woke up this morning feeling really depressed and anxious, and my first impulse was just like, oh my God, it's New Year's, my favorite holiday, and I still feel like shit. This year is really off to a bad start. And then I was like, you know what? I might feel miserable right now, but I got through a whole fucking year. And think of all the good things that happened, like all of the hard work that I did and that Lauren did. Like, the podcast went through a lot of really exciting changes this year. And when it comes down to it, I'm just really grateful. And I cannot wait to share another messed up year with you all. So with that said, here is the conversation that we had in Lauren's living room in person. Pico was sitting on one of our laps the entire time, and it was just a really lovely experience. So from Lauren and I and Pico to you, Happy New Year, hang in there, and enjoy. All right, we're recording.
Yes, we are. We're in the same room.
We're in the same room. What's up, friends?
Hello, friends. I did say I was going to be sexy.
You did say you were going to be sexy. I hope the microphone can pick you up. We're running a little bit of a different setup today, obviously.
Because we're in my living room.
We're in Lauren's living room. It's so beautiful here. And we have a guest in the studio as well.
Other than Pico.
We have Pico. If you're listening to the audio version of this, I'm so sorry you can't see, but I am holding Pico. You forgot to take his collar off.
Oh, don't mind me.
I'm holding Pico, and then our listener Vicky is here, helping us out with some camera work.
Our first live audience member.
I know. I'm not even looking at the camera right now. I'm so nervous. I'm just like looking into the microphone. Like that'll keep me safe.
The camera just witnessed me awkwardly taking my collar off my dog. So.
I don't know what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, we were so anxious. I was like, I feel like we're doing a live performance. Because most of the time, I don't feel nervous around you, but with Vicky here, I'm like, we have to make this matter. No, don't leave, Vicky. she was like, oh, should I leave?
Very important part.
Yes. And this is good. You know, it's a good reminder that we do have listeners that are real people.
Yes.
Question mark. But yeah, this is the last episode of 2022.
Yay!
How do you feel about that? I feel like I asked you that last time.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I also feel nervous because this is on video and we can't cut out as much. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm like, fuck, I'm just going to ruin it all.
Oh, no, I'll do that.
Pico.
Pico could not ruin anything.
I know. I was going to try to make that joke, but just look at his little face. If you are not watching this on video, you need to stop right now and go so you can see this cute little angel. So we have some special things planned for today. Mm-hmm. We're going to be answering questions that people submitted.
And then I'm going to give out the tragic bread and butter pickle awards for everything that was terrible.
So if you don't know what the fuck we're talking about, don't worry, we'll explain it in due course. But the awards will be at the end of the episode, so if you don't feel like listening to those, you can just listen to the questions.
Just answering questions.
I'm always putting myself down. I'm just like thinking like no one wants to listen to them.
Stop it.
I know. Vicky's like, yes. Oh, fuck. All right. I guess we should check in first, though.
Okay.
Before we do this, because it's been a crazy week. The last time we recorded was that episode was so intense.
Yes.
So we recorded that episode. I had been talking about people in my family getting COVID, and we had also been planning a birthday party for my mom. The party got canceled because everyone got COVID, and we almost weren't even able to come here because people had COVID. And they're all good now. They're all negative and like all that shit. But I've been like an anxious mess because I'm terrified of getting COVID. I don't know where to look right now. But yeah, I've just been riding in the car in a snowstorm to get here to St. Louis for our family reunion and to, do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been a mess because I haven't this is the first time we've been doing this family reunion and I'm not drinking.
I can't imagine not drinking at one of my family events.
I feel like I can barely talk now. I've just been through so much stress in the last few days. Like, my dad has been driving crazy. My mom is anxious. My sisters are fighting. And I'm just in the back, with my headphones in, trying to focus. On what? I don't know. Not what I'm supposed to be doing to prepare for this episode, apparently.
I have not had anything exciting happen in the week since we last recorded. I talked about everything that was crazy before that.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
We're here.
And it's balls cold.
Oh, tell them what's going on right now in your home state. while I drink this. Lauren bought this for me. It is a non-alcoholic peach sparkling cider?
Grape juice.
Grape juice.
Yeah, like a white grape juice. Peach.
This is very special because Peach is the social media platform where we met, in case you didn't know.
Yes. I nodded for the listeners only.
The listeners only. Sounds like such a diss. What were we talking about?
How you at? That's what we were talking about.
Where you at? What?
Where you at?
We're here. We're both anxious and awkward and just so excited to be recording in person.
Yeah.
So last week we asked if you guys had any questions for us because we're going to spend this episode just being like lighthearted, not too much heavy talk, unless it goes there. Who knows? Anything can happen. This is Pickles and Vodka.
It seems like you really came through with the questions. I think we'll have a lot to do.
We never introduced ourselves.
Oh!
This is Pickles and Vodka, the mental health podcast where imperfect people have imperfect conversations. Imperfectly. Fuck. I almost nailed it. I'm Christina. I don't mess up the intros.
I'm Lauren. I just try not to say the intros.
All right. So anyway, now we can get to some questions people asked us. Because, I don't know. I feel like we have a lot of new listeners and they don't know us very well. And like, obviously you've only been co-hosting for like, this is the 17th episode that Lauren has been on.
Counts, I do.
Isn't that crazy? And so I was kind of expecting people to ask like deeper questions, which some people did. Vicky asked a very deep question. Well, Vicky.
Oh, we're going to start right off.
We're going to start. So Vicky, as I mentioned, is here in person and I'm feeling a little bit nervous with a live person watching us, and so I'm going to make her uncomfortable and have her ask the question that she typed to us on Instagram live. But you don't have to be on camera if you don't want to.
All right.
So I'm going to hold the microphone up to you.
All right.
So first, say hi to the Pickles and Vodka listeners.
Hello, Pickles and Vodka listeners. This is my question. Picture yourself on New Year's Eve just before the ball drops and it becomes 2026. So 3 years from now, basically. Where do you see yourself, both literally and figuratively? Where are you living? Who are you with? What are you doing for a job? Are you in a relationship? Where are you in terms of your mental health and recovery? And that is the realistic prediction part of your answer. Now tell me your dream answer. Where you hope to be, and who you're with, and what you're up to in blissful happiness.
Wait, I thought the first... Sorry, gotta get my microphone back. Thank you, Vicky. I thought the first part was...
The whole question?
So what's the difference between the first answer and the dream answer? Isn't the first answer what you want to happen?
Like realistically?
Oh,
where
fuck.
do you really think you'll be in 3 years? Versus like in a dream world, where will you be?
Okay. Are you ready or?
I think I can wing it.
I trust you.
Okay.
But Vicky's counting on you. No pressure.
It's only our 20-year friendship on the line. So a realistic prediction. I'll probably still be in St. Louis because I have some pretty good things going on as far, like the most successful job I think I've ever had. So that's worth at least sticking around for a while. I don't think I'll live here forever. I will still be living with Pico and Meatball because, first of all, because Pico's going to live till he's 20.
Obviously.
So he'll have a long time still ahead of him. Oh. And I think I'll still be in this apartment because I just moved here because it's pretty sweet.
This is the sickest apartment I've ever seen in my life, and I'm so fucking jealous.
And I hate to say it, but realistically, I think I will still be living alone. We're going realistic.
What about the recovery part of that question?
Oh... You know, if we're going with realism, I have no clue. Hopefully better.
That's a good answer. I don't see it as totally negative.
Yeah.
Dream answer.
Dream answer.
Or should we do my realistic answer? Okay, we'll do. Okay,
realistic.
All right. Okay, 3 years from now or 4? Well, 3. Okay, 3 years from now. I also don't know if I really love where I live now, but not long term, because I'm close to family. And, you know, there's an affordable cost of living and all that shit. But I think long term, we're talking 3 years. I have to tell myself, like, I'm not thinking, like, 10 years in the future. All right, I think I'll be in my current apartment still because I love it also. We both moved into pretty sick apartments this year.
Yeah.
Like, good job, us. I think I'll still be living there. I hope I'm still with my partner. No, I love him very much, and I feel very safe with him, and we have a lot of fun plans and stuff, so I'm excited about that. For once. For once. Well, I don't remember the question.
Job?
Job.
Yes.
Oh, so that is actually something, I hope to be working in a field that I am actually giving a shit about. I have tried the corporate life this year, and I really hate it. Like, this past year was the first time I kept the same job for 1 year in forever. So I kept the same job all last year, which I'm very proud of myself for. But I did learn that I don't want to do that I feel like I should be careful what I say.
Yeah, but I know that you weren't really happy there. It's just
No, I mean, we were just talking with Vicky earlier about censoring ourselves on here, and I feel like I do that a lot. That's one thing I would like to see about myself being more honest in the next 3 years, like, even more than I am now. Like, I don't know, maybe even doing it as a career in some capacity, even if it's just, like, working for a nonprofit or, like, you know, selling art or whatever the fuck. I just want to be doing something different that doesn't make me want to die every day. That would be great. Recovery-wise, I honestly don't know. I mean, the sobriety is going great. Eating disorder is going okay-ish, but, like, I don't know. A lot of the thoughts have been coming back this week. Like, it's been hard, and it's just like, just when I think I'm done with it, it comes back, and I'm just like, is this ever going to go away? So I think I will be way better at the behaviors in 3 years, hopefully. But, you know.
Better at the behaviors? Sorry, I had to call you on that.
This is so hard to answer, Vicky. But my realistic answer is probably that I will probably find some other toxic coping mechanisms and have a few more phases like that because I just can't give them up completely. And I don't know. I might have a few relapses. I don't know. It's possible. Whatever that looks like, you know, it could look. But if that does happen, I think I have the support system in my life that I would be able to, like, come back from it.
That's good.
Yeah. So
my dream.
What are your dreams?
I mean, if we're withholding any realism, then I would be living in Ireland on a goat farm.
Interesting.
I really loved it there, and I just kind of like the idea of having goats. They're so cute.
Who wouldn't, honestly?
Though I realized in my realistic and my dream both, I would still be doing this podcast.
It happened. I was just taking a vape, and yeah, that was the one thing I forgot to mention. Mm-hmm. Podcast is on both lists.
And I suppose that I would have a rock star boyfriend, and we'd both be in bands but not each other's, because that's never a good idea.
Smart. Yeah. Dream Lauren is smart. She knows what's up.
Yeah. And I don't know what my job would be. Hell, maybe I would be writing fiction, which was always my dream in the past. I mean, yeah. You did a palate cleanser about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think writing is something that's important to both of us. Like, mm-hmm. that. I would. We'll talk about this in another question.
Okay.
I won't go into it now.
Yeah. And mental health stuff clearly would just, like, no longer be an issue, and I just look back and be like, oh, I remember those days. Because that is the ideal dream.
That is the ideal dream, yeah. I think, I don't know. I when I think about my dream life, I feel like in some ways I'm living it, because I'm, like, just so in the moment these days, and, like, things are on an upward trajectory. And that's, like, enough for me. I've been so traumatized and miserable for most of my life. Like, I don't even have a dream that's bigger than just that. Because it's enough. Like, I've come... maybe it's, like, negative, but I don't really expect more than that. But if I were, I would want to live in a big city like Austin or, I don't know, Richmond, because it's still in Virginia. But like, I really miss living in a big city. I miss public transportation. I miss being able to walk everywhere. I hate driving. It gives me so much anxiety. Like, the older I get, the more I realize I just hate driving. Big city. My partner and I would probably have a business, or at least have the beginnings, like, plans for a business, because that's something we want to do. But realistically, I don't know. 3 years is a very short time.
Realistic.
So yeah, in the dream world, we would be starting our business. I would be writing my first book, maybe have an agent if we're talking dream. And recovery-wise, in my wildest dreams, I am so, like, on top of my recovery that I go back to school and I get my master's and I become an art therapist. That's, like, my dream.
So that'd be part of your dream.
That is,
towards that.
Yeah. Yeah. I tried going back to school to be an art therapist and I dropped out after a semester because I didn't want to pay for it. Well, and also I realized I just hated being in school.
That's fair.
But Dream Christina excels in all things.
And she's mysteriously independently wealthy, so she can
Well,
go to school.
you live in Ireland with a fucking goat farm.
Exactly.
Where are you getting your money?
Goat cheese.
I love goat cheese.
I know, me too.
Oh my god. Do you like
special fancy artisan ghost cheese?
Ghost cheese.
I wouldn't make any ghost cheese.
Speaking of cheeses and such, we have a beautiful display of snacks in front of us that Lauren has prepared with great care. We have popcorn. We have cheddar pretzels that Vicky brought. Vicky brought most of this, actually. Vicky feeds us. She's amazing. We have a vegetable platter. And then
we have my special hot and spicy pickles.
We literally have hot and spicy pickles. And then what are you drinking?
I am drinking some rosé champagne.
You mean rose? Because you thought
have the little thingy on it.
I will never let you forget that you thought Frosé Rosé was Froze Rose.
Oh, I definitely said it Frosé Rosé in the beginning, but I was like, I bet I am.
Did you hear the Bang is going out of business?
No.
Or they have already? This is very relevant to our topic, by the way, because people with eating disorders go crazy for Bang.
Is this why you can't find Frosé Rosé anymore?
Probably.
Because they're just like running out their stock, and that was the most popular flavor because it was the best, so it's done first.
I don't know.
I just blew her mind.
I mean, I've heard Bang is kind of a shitty company, I've heard.
Yeah, I think
so
I've heard that too.
I'm not sad that they're going out of business, but also I'm going to miss that pina colada.
Ugh.
Cotton candy?
Mm-mm.
What?
Too sugary sweet.
But they're all sugary sweet.
I know, but cotton candy is like extra.
We need to get to some more questions. Oh, okay. I just remembered we have... Also, in between the questions and the awards, we will be unpackaging a gift from a listener. So a mini palate cleanser in the middle of our palate cleanser episode.
I'm so excited for this since you walked in the door.
I want to do it now, but we're going to stay focused.
Yeah.
We're going to stay fucking focused if it's the last thing we do. Vicky, do you feel like your questions were adequately answered? Okay, thumbs up from Vicky. Okay. I should have done that. I should have had this up before. My sister-in-law gave me her used iPad for Christmas, which is amazing because I've never had an iPad before, but I don't know how to use it. And so you guys get to struggle with me. Okay, I wrote down all the questions. So Heather also sent us in a question via voicemail, and then, oh, fuck, I forgot we're doing this on video, so I can't just pop in the audio. Yeah. I wonder if I could play it from here. We're going to pause it while we figure this out. BRB. All right. We had a brief interruption.
Well, the old person learned how to use her phone.
But we now have the voicemail in front of us that we're going to play with our next question. Hit it, Lauren.
Hey, Christina and Lauren. This is Heather. And I was blanking on questions, so these are just very random questions. So my questions for each of you are, what is your favorite Madonna song? What is your favorite candy? You have to pick just one. And if you could live in any fictional home / apartment, whatever, where would that be? I'm excited for you guys to get together and meet and to listen to the next episode. I hope y'all are hanging in there. I'm trying by the skin of my teeth, so I hope you all are too, and finding comfort in the ways that you can and some peace. Bye.
We're trying, and we're happy that you're trying too, Heather. Yes.
And fun questions.
So fun. I just burped. I'm sorry. So fun. So the first question was favorite Madonna song. Mine's easy because I've only heard one Madonna song, Like a Prayer. Is that the name of it?
Yes.
I think. I don't even know. Yeah, that's my favorite Madonna song. I wasn't allowed to listen to her growing up, and so now I'm not really familiar.
I grew up mostly in the same town that Madonna was born in, Bay City, Michigan. So,
is it like a shrine? A Madonna shrine?
No, because she hated it. She never had good things to say, so I don't think they wanted to claim her after a while.
Well, she didn't want to claim them, so it sounds like it's mutual.
And I think she probably had the better view. But I am just kind of corny about it, so I think my favorite is Crazy for You.
Never heard it.
It's just sweet and cute. It's one of the earlier ones.
You're sweet and cute. Okay, favorite candy. Kit Kats, 100%. I love Kit Kats so much. They're just perfect. I love the way they melt in their mouth. I like that it has a crunchy aspect. And I like that you can just break it off into pieces.
Those are very good things. Not my favorite, but you made a solid argument.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just said candy, and I didn't think of anything chocolate at first. But
have we had this conversation? Are you a chocolate person?
I am. I don't like anything really that's flavored chocolate. I like chocolate.
Yeah, like chocolate milk. You're like no.
No, chocolate pudding. Chocolate ice cream is one of the worst ones.
I love chocolate ice cream.
Sorry.
I'm either looking at the microphone or like slightly above the camera. Anyway.
Oh, but so, God, what did I have? What is it, like, Century, Millionaire? What is that candy bar called?
Oh!
100,000.
Yes. Like,
Dollars?
no.
Payday?
Am I allowed to answer?
If you knew it, yes. Not
Vicky doesn't know it. 100 grand.
Yes. Okay. So I don't think
you don't know what your favorite candy is called.
No, because I've never had one of those before. I think I thought they were like one of those gross coconut ones or something. And I had one for the first time this year, and I was like, why do they make other candy bars? It's so good.
Those gross coconut ones that you're referring to, well, I also love.
Secretly, I like them now, but I was thinking as a kid, like when I would have seen them, I would have thought, yeah. It's one of those yucky.
But yeah, we can only pick one.
Yeah, it's 100 grand bar.
100 grand to Kit Kats. Yeah. All right, pretty similar.
Yeah, I think those are pretty good choices.
And then the third question we kind of answered with Vicky's. It was like, where do you want to live? Like, what's your dream?
Yeah, but I have
place?
A different one for this one because it kind of stressed fictional.
Oh, that's right. She did say fictional.
Yes.
Cool.
So I want to live in Bilbo's house. It'd be kind of a pain to get in and out, but I remember I loved the inside of it.
It's called Bag End in Hobbiton.
Bag End is where he
Bag End is the name.
I thought that was like the general area where he lived.
Bag End is the house. Hobbiton is the area he lives in. I'm a nerd.
I haven't read it or seen the movies or anything in a long time.
I mean, I haven't either, but I lived and breathed Lord of the Rings when I was in middle school.
I just thought it was fun.
I want to live in Rivendell. Who knew that both of our answers would be Tolkien related?
You said that as like a suggestion when we read the question earlier, and I'd already been thinking, and that's what I was like, oh, we're gonna be neighbors.
Yeah, Rivendell is but a brief horse ride from Hobbiton. A 3 days journey, I believe. But if we're talking real world fantasy, I don't know. New Zealand? That's kind of also Tolkien Middle Earth adjacent.
True.
But no, I've always wanted to live outside of the U.S., and I think New Zealand is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know a lot of creatives out there.
And for that, yeah, I'd go back to my other answer, which was Ireland.
Okay. Next question. Why am I panicking all of a sudden? You know, we were talking before about our note-taking methods, because I do all of them digitally, and Lauren does them on paper, and I gotta say, I think I see why you do that. Yeah, I'm just struggling over here. It's because of the iPad, though.
Oh, yeah, because you're not used to it.
Okay, so... Okay, we're going to go with Orion's questions.
Okay.
So Orion is the listener who sent us art in the past, and he sent us... What?
Didn't he send a voicemail? Or no?
He did send a voicemail,
Okay.
but he also sent some questions that are not voicemails, so I'm going to start reading those while you pull up the voicemail.
Okay.
Because we're very efficient on this podcast. So... One of the questions that he asked was, do you have any new goals from last year that didn't happen? And I thought that was a really good question because no one wants to talk about the New Year's resolutions that they, like, failed. Because, like, when we're recording this, it is the week of Christmas. New Year's is basically it's coming up.
Yep.
We were just
starting to think this.
Everyone's starting to think about it, but no one is, like... willing to recognize kind of what they failed at. And I think this is such a great idea to talk about. The one that popped out to me right away was writing a book, because I had convinced myself that I was going to self-publish by the time I turned 30, which was in July. I have not come close to doing that. And now that I think about it, I'm like, that was such an unrealistic goal. Like, of course you didn't meet it. But in the moment, I felt like a failure. Like, fuck, I didn't do this before I turned 30. But honestly, timelines like that are so arbitrary and dumb. And, like, I wasn't taking things into consideration, like my mental state. And just, like, I don't know. I wasn't in a place to do that.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm not going to be making that a goal this upcoming year.
Okay.
Yeah. Realistic goals only. But, yeah, that's the first one I thought of. What about you?
It's kind of hard for me because I do feel like hit a lot of them, which is odd.
That's amazing.
I know. I mean, like, one of the big ones was I was going to ask for a raise at work, which, I mean, I technically didn't do it, but I was planning how I was going to, and then my boss ended up giving me 2 raises in a week, so I didn't actually have to ask. I still consider that a success.
Yeah.
I guess what I would say how failing would be... And again, I didn't make specific goals. I just feel like I wanted to get better at relationships, and I feel like I ended up kind of like cutting some off. And
well, yeah. I think cutting off toxic or relationships that aren't really serving you anymore is improving your relationships.
I wouldn't say it was a toxic relationship. It just kind of wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, and life's too short to have those people in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that is improving relationships that you... Yeah.
But it was about, I mean, I wanted to at least, like, force myself to go on a date.
But you're still, is that the one that you're going to answer with?
Yeah. I mean, that was just one of the ways I meant I was failing at relationships instead of improving.
Well, you know,
like,
you win some, you lose some.
Have an option. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was what we said. We're going to admit we failed.
Yeah. Yeah, I failed at quitting a bunch of stuff this year. Yeah, I failed at finishing school because I was in school in the beginning of last year, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was going to, like, go back and I didn't do that. But again, like, these aren't losses, I consider them, because, like...
I don't think, like, you failed because you didn't stay in school.
Yeah, there were reasons that I didn't do them. So... Again, this question is great because it's like, what was I thinking when I made those goals? And, like, what were my, like, logical errors when I'm, like, what were the reasons that I picked those goals?
It almost makes you think, like...
How do I not do that again?
You immediately think of fail. I mean, we've just talked about it. Like, they're not really failures.
No.
So, yeah. Make us think. That's good.
Orion always makes us think.
I know.
So, the next non-voicemail question he had was, what's the best holiday gift you remember giving to someone else? This was a hard one.
I don't know, like, about the past, but I was just thinking, I'm so proud of the things I got from my parents this year.
Aww.
Because the last few years I have not known. I either have to specifically ask them, like, what do you want? Or else I just, like, give them generic gift cards. But this year, like, the first one I thought of was my mom's, because she has talked about buying herself a baby grand piano for years and years and years, and she finally just said, I'm going to do it.
Oh my God.
I mean, she's very excited to have this thing and stuff. And so I thought, like, I'm going to give her a gift certificate actually to one of the sites where you can print off music.
Oh, nice. That's a great gift.
Mm-hmm.
Sheet music is hard to find online, like, for free, like, good ones.
Yeah, that's why I was like, instead of that, making her, like, search all over for it, just be like, here, you've got, like, $50 of music you can print
Those
off.
are the best gifts, are the ones that are practical and that show that but also that they would never buy themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that, like...
And still is personalized. Yes, not just an Amazon gift card.
Yeah.
But, so that, and then then I felt, like, pressured, because I do so bad with my dad always, and I was like, I gotta think of something, like, good for that, too. And when I visited them this summer, he and I, like, both nights that I stayed with him, then we built a fire in the fire pit outside, and we just, like, I feel like we really enjoyed that, like, keeping the fire going and building it ourselves and stuff like that.
It was a bonding moment.
Yeah, so I looked up, like, some good tools and did not even realize he needs a long poking stick, and there also are these little log grabbers that you can get to, like, turn the logs over.
You need all that stuff, but none of it comes with, like, the fire pit.
Yeah, no, I mean, we just, like, did it all makeshift, so I got him, like, some actual nice ones, and that's what I even, like, said in my card. That was, like, that was my favorite part, is us, like, building the fires, so.
Because there's a memory attached to it.
Exactly, so yeah, I did good.
You did so good. Parents are really hard to shop for. Mm-hmm. My mom this year, actually, I'm just going to brag on the gift I got her this year.
See, that's we're just all good this year.
But I know that this isn't the best gift I've given of all time, but I have a shitty memory, as we've established, and so I'm just going to go with this. So her birthday is today, December 23rd. So I had gotten her, like, I got her something else for Christmas, but, like, I got her something special for her birthday. It was this little yellow... What?
You're dedicated.
Because
my parents' birthdays are December 26th and 27th. I don't do things for their birthday, too.
Oh, you hate your parents, don't you?
That's it. That's why.
Oh, sorry, Pico. I just jostled Pico in my mirth. So I got her this little notebook. It's yellow, and it has, like, the Florida... It has an outline of Florida covered in flowers on the front in gold, because she's from Florida. And it has a little gold pen that comes with it. And then on the inside, I wrote her a little note, and I was like, I want you to fill these pages with things that make you happy and remind you how much you're loved and all this stuff. And then she, like, has been going around to everyone at the family reunion, and they're all writing her little notes in it.
Oh,
and
that's so awesome.
Yeah, and I just love that, like, going into...
It's like a yearbook for adults.
It's literally a yearbook for adults. And I've just been seeing so many people today just with this little notebook writing her notes, and it makes me so happy. And it was like $7 at TJ Maxx. It's you don't have to spend a lot of money to get. So, yeah.
Make something perfect.
Yes. Okay. The next question he had. I'm so sorry.
Everyone who sees the video is going to learn that my neck is perpetually fucked up, and I'm always, like, cracking.
Oh, I cannot focus on any one thing. I'm looking around so much. Like, I'm a little uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie. But it's fine.
Basically, I'm a creaky old lady, and she's a squirrel.
Yeah. Well, what's Pico?
A ferret. Look at him.
His face is, like, in the wine glass right now. Oh, my God. Anyway... Orion also says, what were TV shows as kids? Oh, yeah. I'm going to figure out how to edit video so I can splice out some of this stuff, extra stuff. I'm just going to do it. What were your favorite TV shows as kids, and which ones did you have in common? Yeah, do you have any in common?
Let's answer that second question first. No.
You don't know that. I watched some old school TV shows.
Okay.
Well, what were your favorites? We'll see if I recognize any of them.
Okay. Punky Brewster, even though I was kind of not allowed to watch it because parents thought that she was a brat.
Never heard of it. Continue.
Right. I mostly liked animated shows for a really long time. Like, I didn't even watch, like, the live-action kid shows much because I would rather watch Transformers and Gem. She was truly outrageous. And what were some other good ones that I love? Gummy Bears. And...
That's a show?
Yeah.
Called Gummy Bears?
Yes, there's a theme song to it. It's like, Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. I feel like I'm missing some other... Oh, Kid Video. That was the cartoon I fucking loved. It was like kids in a band, and they started off like a real live band playing, and they like got sucked into something that turned them into cartoons. It's fucking awesome.
It sounds like it.
I already wanted to be a rock star. So.
I watched Veggie Tales.
Nope. I know what it is, but nope.
And Davy and Goliath. That you recognize that? Again, these are very early childhood.
You did just remind me. I didn't watch that, but I remember when I was a kid, every morning I watched Flying House and Superbook. Yep.
Superbook!
Yes! We have something.
We all watched Superbook!
Even Nikki, all of us in this room.
Look at the recording. It just got super red when we all started screaming. Okay, not only do Lauren and I have this in common, Vicky also has this in common, so you struck gold here.
Yep.
Yeah, Superbook, that's the answer. Do you have the voicemail to play?
Yes, I do.
Happy holidays, y'all. Happy New Year. It's Orion. Wishing you a stress-free weekend, as stressless as possible and as fun and exciting as you can enjoy. I am having an exciting holiday weekend. I'm moving out of my apartment that I share, and I'm moving into my first apartment that I'll have all on my own this weekend, the day after Christmas. I'm worried about so many things, but what's given me the courage to make this move has been a lot of listening to you guys talk about your insane moving stories, and I'm wondering what mental health advice or just practical advice you could give to someone in my circumstance. Thanks, bye.
First of all, congrats.
Yes.
I am so fucking thrilled for you.
Your first place on your own is so exciting and such a big move.
And I was 28 when I got my own place of my own, so you're already ahead of me. I mean, I don't really know how old you are. I think you're younger.
I was around that age too, because I lived with a shitty-ass boyfriend in my 20s. And then...
Yeah, but... Well, I don't know. Are we saying the first time we got our own place, or we moved out? Because I moved out at 18, but like I moved into a dorm for a couple years. Then I lived with an aunt. Then I lived with roommates I found on Craigslist, and I did that like 3 times. And then I found my own place. So all manner of situations apply.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking because I was really like struggling to find any employment or anything when I was living with that shitty boyfriend. So I felt then kind of like he was more supporting me, even though I'm hella independent and was really trying not to depend on him. And then after that, then it was things like I lived with different family members that had a space. So yeah, like supporting myself on my own felt, I think, was around 28.
Yeah, but the question is, like, I guess...
Tangent.
Yeah, so you're moving into your own place. Like, I don't know exactly if you have roommates or if you're living on your own, but either way, it's a huge step. Mm-hmm. And there is a lot that I feel like no one prepares you for in real life. Like, when you go off and move into your own place.
Yeah.
Like, credit history.
Oh, my God, yes.
And, like, I don't know. I never knew that I could just call up my landlord and ask for a repair because I thought I would get in trouble and they would charge me for it. But then when I found out, like, if they're good, like, they cover that stuff.
Yeah, I was really bad about that. And also, I lived in a place that, pretty sure that one entire wall had no insulation in it. Because once it got cold, then it got, I bought a thermometer so I could say, like, it was 50 degrees in here.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Lauren's thermostat has read 64 degrees since we got here.
I think it's 65 now.
It's 65 now.
Or getting more. But that's just because it's working against these crazy ass colds.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we mentioned earlier, like
but I was gonna say, I told that whole story to say, like, if something seems really shitty, don't be afraid to look it up, because that's what I was way too late. I endured this for so much, and then I looked up like basic laws for Chicago housing. I mean, you'll have to find in your area, but there was things like if they cannot provide heat above, they put it at like 58 or something like that, which it was well below, then they were like, you can actually stay in a hotel and charge your landlord for it.
Yeah. I had
I could have said these are not living conditions.
the things that we put up with just
Exactly.
when you're young and you're just happy to be in your own place, you don't realize you can have better. And I feel like this advice will just kind of make you more stressed because, like, there is a lot you feel like you need to learn. And sometimes you just need, even if it's, like, not the nicest place, like, you just need to settle in and make it yours and, like, make it a sanctuary. Because, like, my favorite places weren't the nicest, but they were the places that I lived with people I liked or that I had my own space. And that really makes a difference. So the first thing I would do is, like, you know, establish your corner and, like, make it yours. Make it a place that you want to come home to. And don't put anything off because, like, I don't know. I get really depressed when I put things off. Like, I just unpacked the last box last week from my move in September, and it felt really good. And I was like, this was so easy. I could have just done this right away.
That's good because that was actually the first thing I thought of is... Leading up to that, I was going to say, don't worry about being super perfectionist about packing. Because I always am in the beginning, and I just think, like, I need everything that relates to this in one box, and I need to perfectly fit it in the box. Yeah. You know what? Get the stuff over there. I don't care if you just chuck it all in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you're stressing yourself too much by trying to pack perfectly.
And I think I wish that I had not cared so much about the way my place looked. Like, I know I just said to make it yours and, like, make it a sanctuary and all that, and that is very important, but also it's not going to be perfect. Like, I mean, we're older and we're making more money and we're in like, I think for me and for you, we both in the nicest places we've ever lived in.
By far.
but with that said, there's still things that, like, bug me, and I'm just like, none of this matters. Like, I don't remember how my kitchen table is decorated in my place from 4 years ago. You know, I do remember the fun times I had and, like, you know, having people over and that kind of thing. Just focus on, like, the parts of your place that bring you joy and not worry so much about the things that, like, yeah, it would be nice if my place had a cool design, but, like, I don't have $1,000 to spend on, like, I can't buy new furniture overnight, you know? That's another thing. Secondhand stores are your best friend.
Yes.
Secondhand stores.
Yes.
Orion, you're an artist. You like to DIY. So this is your area to, like, go crazy in the best possible way. Like, I try to make everything myself, and that makes me feel very proud and, like, happy in my home when I know that it's stuff that I made.
Yeah, I had a friend who was amazing at that. Like, in her first place, she would just go and get, like, the remnant sales, and she would just turn it into amazing things.
Yeah. I don't know if that helps.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Cut you off.
Next. What was the next question?
Yeah.
What was the next question? Oh.
You have now.
Oh my god. I'm so bad at this. Most obscure foods that you eat with pickles.
Oh.
Orion also asked that. I'm getting a pickle now.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oops.
I'm eating a pickle on a cheddar pretzel.
Okay.
I think it's going to be good.
It's not going to be a terrible sandwich.
It's pretty good.
I made these pickles specifically for us meeting because I infused them with cayenne pepper, garlic salt, and red pepper flakes.
That was really good.
To make my own hot and spicy pickle.
We have, homemade hot and spicy pickles. They are amazing. I've had pickles on waffles before, but it was like part of a chicken and waffle type deal, so it wasn't that weird. It was good.
I did pickles and mustard before, but, you know, there was probably reasons for that.
Yeah, it's hard to have objective views on pickles when you've survived on pickles and nothing else.
I didn't have it, but I'm curious enough because there was a coworker that brought in, they had a pizza that had pickles on it.
I would totally eat a pizza with pickles on it.
Yes, we were talking about that and how it was kind of weird, and I was like, I'll try it.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do pickles on sweet things, like ice cream or chocolate or something like that. I don't know.
Because sweet pickles are so terrible.
I hate sweet pickles. That is why the portion of our awards that are the
everything that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's what I just been saying.
The bread and butter pickle awards.
Yes.
Yeah, is when we're going to talk about.
Also terrible.
Yeah. Oh, Caroline asks, my sister, she asks, if you were a fast food restaurant, what would you be and why?
Oh.
Why you gotta ask why? That's too much. Okay, I think I would be a Noodles and Company. Because they're dependable. You never know what you're gonna get. Everything is good. You just, they're a little bit silly. And it's, like, not great, but it's, like, not terrible. It's just, like, Noodles and Company.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't put that much thought into this.
No, that's what... I'm going to have to wing this one, because I think that I would be Wendy's.
Spicy redhead.
I was just going to say one of the things that just came to me. I was like, I've had red hair a lot, so that's one reason. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of like a good mixture of, like, maybe healthy and unhealthy, because, they have, like, baked potatoes and shit if you want to be healthy. And then lots of things that aren't healthy, like my brain. And and Wendy's, I remember, like when I was like a teenager, we used to go there because they actually had a salad bar, and they sold this thing called a one trip, which meant you went through the salad bar once, and that was like less expensive than like unlimited salad bar. What? So I'm going to say that I'm also like Wendy's, because every once in a while it totally reinvents itself.
That's a good one. I like your answers. Your answers are good. Those were all the questions, I think. We had, so Shannon, my friend from work, sent me this, like, list of questions. I'm just so distracted right now by how cute Pico is. Yeah, we had another list of questions we were going to try to answer, but we don't have time now, so we're going to do that as a palate cleanser in a future episode.
That could be its own episode.
Yeah, I want to make that its own episode. But thank you to everyone who sent in questions. With that said,
yeah,
I think we're going to take a bathroom break and come back and do the awards.
Yes.
All right, we are back. I was just thinking, if this episode was a fast food restaurant, it would probably be Cheesecake Factory.
Yes.
Because it's super nice as a treat, but if you went every day, you would get sick.
Also, I was thinking because it's all over the place.
It's all over the place. Yeah. So I just, that's the thought that came to me while I was peeing.
That's good.
Anyway, today, now, at this point in the episode, we're going to be giving out some awards. So the Hot and Spicy Pickle Awards is something that I started to recognize every guest that had been on the podcast that previous year. So if you've watched The Office, it's kind of like the Dundies. It's just like a custom award that I make up and give to people.
And she said that so I get to have hot and spicy pickle.
Yeah, you have to eat it's like a drinking game, but like every time we say it, we have to eat. What's our hot and spicy pickle game? Every time we say, Vicky, what's something annoying we say a lot?
Every time we go on a tangent.
Yes! Okay, so if we go off on a tangent while trying to give out these awards, then we need to stop, eat a pickle, and take a moment to get back on track. Yeah. So it's going to be quick this year because before Lauren came on, I actually didn't have a lot of guests because I've been struggling with my mental health a lot more this year, and I just, it's a lot of work to find guests and to schedule guests and interview guests, and so in the next year, I don't know how many guests we'll have on. We might, I don't know.
I'm kind of thinking just when we feel like it's a good opportunity. We're not going to hunt for guests.
We're not going to hunt for guests, I think, at least now with both of our mental healths being the way they are. I don't think that's realistic. But with that said, we'll probably have guest appearances every now and then.
Yeah.
So we decided 5 minutes ago that we're not ready to do the Hot and Spicy Pickle Awards this year.
The best decisions are on the fly.
The best decisions are on the fly. That's true. Vicky is getting to see our process live, and it's messy as fuck. But yeah, I tried to come up with the awards in the car on the way here, and I just couldn't do it.
And some of them on my couch an hour or two ago.
I'm not in a creative mood right now, and I feel like it's just going to be forced. And so, but that is kind of a good analogy for this year, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, because I'm going to give mine, and I have totally been working on them and specifically made my list. so that I wouldn't have too much junk in the way of my notes.
So tell people what the Bread and Butter Pickle Awards are, because this is a brand new segment for the podcast. And tell them why.
I was going to say, I feel like this is something we've kind of bonded on immediately, because with the name of her podcast, we're obviously like, dill pickles are the best, and we both were just like, sweet pickles are shit. Bread and butter pickles are the shittiest brand of shit.
Yeah.
So I thought of this award, because I knew she always did her Hot and Spicy Pickle Award, as kind of like, instead of celebrating everyone and what's great about them, just kind of talking about stuff that sucks.
Stuff that sucks, mistakes we made, imperfections galore. I can't think of a better way to wrap up this final episode of 2022 with stuff that we fucked up.
I mean, a few episodes I left out because they were sheer perfection or...
the sentimental value.
Mostly because of, like, listener comments and voicemails that just were, like, really fantastic. Yeah. Not because of us.
So just to be clear, these awards are for bad things, and we're only giving them to ourselves.
Yeah. Actually, I have a couple for different people, but mostly us.
Us, or, like, stuff we talked about that we just hated.
In particular, let's get this started off on a good note. Number 90, the first one that I was in, I would like to give the award to Ice Cubes, because I had no idea at that point how many things the microphone picks up, and I had some iced coffee, and I hear myself stirring it so much, and I'm just like, God, you idiot.
I remember at one point I left to go to the bathroom or something, and then when I came back and listened to the recording, it's just you twirling around your ice. You're like, I'm just sipping my coffee.
I'm sure, yep.
I hope we don't have anything about vapes in there, because I have
think so.
3 vapes in my pocket right now.
I think a contender for one of them was the fact that Perfect Vape is not sponsoring us yet. But other than that, though.
Maybe we'll drop the perfect vape joke in the new year. Maybe not. They could still sponsor us.
That's right.
Okay, what's next?
So I didn't write the titles for each episode, but I know, like, 91 was our To The Bone episode, because I gave the award to cheesy recovery sequences, but I was this close to giving the award to fucking Oliver.
Fucking Oliver. So if you haven't heard, our second episode ever as co-hosts was us interviewing the movie. Was us reviewing the movie To The Bone, which is all about eating disorders. Some of it's good. Most of it sucks.
I still don't actually remember the character's name, but we said maybe he's Oliver, and after that, we just called the boy character fucking Oliver.
Yeah. It's kind of an inside joke. Whatever. It's the last episode of the year.
Listen to it.
We're gonna make inside jokes.
And you can be inside too.
I was gonna make a joke, but I'm just not going to.
Okay. Next. So, 92 is one where I don't know what the episode is about, but I gave the Bread and Butter Pickle Award to COVID, because that was when you got it and you were experiencing
it. Was, I'm trying to think of what time that... What was that, the pet episode? What episode was that?
That's clearly the next one based on my award.
Yeah, I got COVID around that time and it sucked.
Yeah.
Yep. That deserves one for sure.
Yep. So the next episode I know is the pet episode, because I gave it to Chihuahuas with Problems.
Wait, Pico, don't listen.
No,
don't listen. You don't have any problems.
Well, that was a specific room when I was adopting him of the Chihuahuas with Problems, so he's not one. He knows it.
Oh, that shows how much I remember from that story.
No, because I was listening to get the awards.
Nice.
Okay, 94. I apparently skipped. I didn't have anything, because you guys were all too great, or I was too lazy. 95 was obviously the coworkers episode, because I gave it to predatory coworkers.
We talk a lot about that in that episode.
Ones that do things like come up and think that they can squeeze you or poke you.
Yeah.
Not okay.
Ugh. I can't even talk about it. It's so annoying, but listen to that episode.
Yeah. Well, good thing my next one is lighter. 96, again, I don't know what the episode was about, but I remember this moment. It is given to stopping Pico from eating poop, which also is stopping cats from pooping.
Was that the episode where you were running late because you were trying to...
Oh, I think so.
Because Pico was eating meatballs shit.
This is the one where I talked about that and I said, I need to stop Pico from eating poop, and she thought I was going to say stop my cats from pooping.
I was like, okay, what can you do about that?
I don't know how you accomplished that one.
Oh, man.
Yes, that was fantastic. 97, you should listen to, because that is, I was just going to describe it, but isn't it called When Things Go Awry?
Yeah, featuring vaping. The first episode where we make a joke about Perfect Vape sponsoring us.
This is the one, I gave my bread and butter pickle award to Samsung phones because my friend was supposed to be our guest and we could not make it work.
Stacy.
Yes, and it was in part because of her Samsung phone and us having no clue what
Yeah,
to do
we
with
have
it.
no idea. So,
Yeah,
Stacy, you're still welcome to be a guest if you want.
Absolutely, and we'll figure out how to make it work
We
for
will
you.
figure it out, or you can get someone to figure it out for you, and then, yeah.
Yes. But listen to it, because we weren't even sure what to do at first. Like, do we still have an episode? And then we're just like, let's just go for it.
Yeah, let's just wing it.
Yeah, it's on the fly.
And we talk about situations where our lives have gone wrong and unplanned, and so it ended up being a good episode.
Good.
We talked about some dark shit.
Yeah. I skipped 98 again. Everyone's too good, or I was lazy.
You're not allowed to say that anymore.
Okay. 99 was obviously when we reviewed Girl Interrupted, because I gave it to Angelina Jolie Triggerfest.
Listen, love Angelina Jolie as an actress. She does an amazing... Oh, baby, did I touch you in a place you didn't want to be touched? I didn't notice where I was petting
Show
him.
me on the doll where she touched you.
Look, he's happy, he's fine.
He is.
Oh, he's like, I'm sorry for snapping.
Yeah,
Pico, we all get
It's
stressed.
just an immediate reaction. He doesn't realize what he's doing.
It's okay.
Yeah, he loves you still. Okay.
You're not getting a bread and butter pickle, Pico.
No.
Pickle award. No matter how mean you are.
I don't remember what we were in the middle of saying about Angelina Jolie Triggerfest.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, she's great, but yeah, she's kind of triggering in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, in all sorts of ways. I skipped 100 because it was our 100th episode.
You're so good at looking at the camera. I'm so bad. I don't know where to look.
I feel like I only have two options, camera or you, so I'm not,
No, that's perfect.
All right. Oh, and after our 100th episode, because we talked about this, so 101 was given to Meatball as a shit / our own self-criticism.
That's a good one. Yo. Okay, so our 100th episode, we have cat noises in the background the whole time.
Yeah, this was the day that Meatball decided to discover that my blinds had a little, thing, handle or whatever hanging off of them. And
The pull string.
batted the shit. Well, not the pull string, the actual one you turn, like the plastic
Oh.
one. That's why it made so much goddamn noise, because he was batting that thing around.
But yeah, that wasn't even the worst part. We talked about it for how much we hated it for a whole episode. And yeah, it does come across as very self-criticism.
Kind of being harsh on ourselves.
So yeah, that gets a bread and butter pickle award.
Yeah.
For sure.
Don't know what number 102 is, but I left it off. Number 103.
I'm trying not to read her notes.
Yeah.
I need to move further away.
I don't remember what the episode was, but I do remember talking about this when family members tell you, if I say, I don't want children, and they say, oh, you'll change your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like my family knows me well enough at this point, they're not going to ask it at this family reunion. But they have...
I thought that my family would have figured it out when I was 39 and hadn't had any children. But I was still getting told that.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yes.
Shout out to everyone going through that right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a hit of my vape for you.
All right. Number 104 might be the only one that was inspired by a listener. It is one of the more serious ones. What are we talking about then? Toxic positivity, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, because it is given to Janai's friend who told them they were lucky to be in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the things that my jaw dropped to the floor when I heard that comment.
Yeah. Yeah, some of our listeners send in really, intimate stories, and, we're so grateful every time someone shares with us, because it's wow, this is some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And we need to talk about how fucked up it is, because, their friend was just
Yeah, that said, like, you should just be glad you have a relationship.
Yeah.
That's incredibly awful.
Yeah. Yeah, that friend definitely gets a bread and butter pickle right in the face.
Face.
I'm sorry, that was...
in the ear.
Are we gonna get canceled? I mean, the only people listening to this episode
your mom
are...
won't listen to anymore.
If you're listening this far, you're probably an OG listener and you're cool anyway.
Hopefully you don't mind, yes. So let's bring it back to more fun. Number 105, I also don't remember what the topic was, but it was that real life isn't like the Babysitter's Club. Because it's when we talked about the expectations of just like, I'm going to grow up and have all these friends, and we're just going to be a crew, and everything's going to be great.
Yeah, that doesn't happen in real life.
No.
False expectations.
Just because you read about it in a crazy YA series doesn't mean it happens. Just looking up which one it is.
I'm trying to find which one it is. Imposter syndrome.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. This means I can see the next one. Oh, we're already past it. One of the ones we skipped, I was going to say one of the ones we skipped earlier because I skipped the death episode.
Oh, yeah. We didn't have anything bad to say about that episode.
Yes. Okay. So I skipped Pain is Not the Meaning. And I think that was one where I just...
Romanticizing mental illness.
We talked, we had so many good comments. There's nothing to say.
Yeah.
So 107 was about therapy because I gave the award to therapists who ghost you. And then thinking on that, I wrote Theraghost? Ghostapist?
No! I have to say something.
Go ahead.
So you were on the Twitter page.
Uh-huh.
And a while back, you made a post with a pun that was so awful. I didn't say anything.
I'm sure it was on purpose.
It was totally on purpose.
Too.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Well, it was like, hello, VOD Pickles. And I did not like it. I wanted to tell you on air so we could both feel very awkward.
Yeah, I guarantee you it was just meant to sound stupid.
Do you guys like being called VOD Pickles?
You shouldn't.
This has nothing to do with what we're supposed to be talking about.
Oh, tangent!
These are really good pickles.
Yeah.
Next.
I specifically said Ghostapist to be uncomfortable.
I'm very uncomfortable. I've been uncomfortable the whole time we've been recording, y'all. I hope you know how much I love you. And how much I love you that I'm doing this. And I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah. We met for the first time in person, and it's fantastic.
It's great, and Pico is great.
He is. Okay.
This is such an all over the place episode.
I know. So, 108 will be my last one. I felt like I got a pass on 109 because it just happened. Also, it was on vulnerability, so isn't that enough?
That episode was intense.
Yeah. But 108 is about therapy, and so...
The Ghostapist. You said this one already.
Oh, I'm sorry, I saw fail as hard as you want. I was like, wasn't that therapy? No, that's recovery. Sorry. We're losing it. It's the end of the night. Yeah, so this is the perfect one to end on anyway, because I gave it to mental bullshit that follows you your entire life, except that it brings us this podcast and connects with all of our fabulous listeners.
Oh! That is a good one to end on. Yeah, I mean, the whole reason we have this podcast is that life sucks and mental illness sucks, but you have to have people to talk about it with.
If you didn't have to go through your bullshit, then you wouldn't be here listening and talking to us and being awesome.
And laughing at how terrible this is. Yes. But we hope we brought you something, like, to distract you. Okay. So, before we end this episode... I'm going to show Lauren something that...
She's been teasing this for a week.
Yeah, so our listener Orion, who asked a bunch of questions earlier, sent us a package with the pickle of inner peace ornament that we talked about last episode, or 2 episodes ago. I don't fucking know.
I don't have that, but I do have mine.
Yeah, Lauren has brought her pickle.
I brought her pickle to the party.
I left my pickle at home, but so Orion also sent this other things that are inside the envelope that Lauren doesn't know about, and I'm going to show her. So, okay,
Freak out.
all right. So,
I saw it.
so that's one.
Oh my gosh! Once again, you have to be a viewer to see this. Oh my god!
So describe it as best you can.
Yes. So in honor of my kitten Meatball, who I got right around the time I started co-hosting, it is a lovely drawing of a black kitty like him sitting atop a mountain of pasta, saying, "Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball."
And there's more.
It's so amazing. Oh. Here, I gotta show this one for the.
Go watch the video to see what. Or follow us on Instagram. We're gonna post pictures.
And this one is to go with that. Also, a drawing of Pico that says "Pico on Earth."
It is so cute.
Yes.
And then he made me one of Ruby and Little Fang. It's both of my cats on a really groovy psychedelic background. It says Ruby and Little Fang, and there's a little heart in between them. It's so cute. I'm gonna frame
They're
this.
just chilling and being amazing.
Yeah. So he made us pet portraits.
I know.
I fucking love that.
It's worth you hiding this from me. It's so cute.
It was so hard not to tell you. But yeah, thank you for everyone who asked questions and has been along for the ride this year. It's been a shit show. It's not going to get less of a shit show.
You're like, thank you for accepting me into your lives.
Yes! Lauren joined the podcast this year. That's a huge fucking deal.
Yeah.
And like, it's amazing. Also, we learned that the hotel that I'm staying at, that she's going to be dropping me off at, is the hotel that she stayed in when she got kicked out of treatment.
Yeah, after I was checked in for 3.5 hours and insurance cut, that's where I
She was like, does that hotel have like a happy hour and a bar? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I made use of it that night.
When I was there 4 years ago, I made use of it. I won't be now. But yeah, I thought that was great. And just happy to be here, happy to keep this going, and happy to end this so we can...
Ready for 2023.
I'm not ready. I'm hopeful.
Yes.
So thank you again,
Thank you.
everyone. We love you.
Yes.
Bye. Oh my God. I'm sure that'll be...